welcome to everyone present over here. I, Vedanti Kohli, moderator of Planotech Media House, would like to introduce you all to our today's webinar session of TEDx Talks, Introduction to Another Avengers Assembled, presented by Planotech Media House, Crafting Transformative Information, a webinar with unstoppable CEOs. Get ready for an unforgettable experience. Now, moving ahead with our today's session, we have Navneet Peri with us. He is holding text licenses, UX designer, project manager, fitness coach, public speaking coach, and he will be speaking on the topic designing your workout. Over to you.
Well, thank you for the introduction. I must say, just like any others, that's a very flattering introduction, but because I gave it, I already know what the introduction is like. Let me start with saying how I did understand fitness at a very nascent level before even I got introduced to it. And that is where I figured out throughout my journey how fitness actually is. Now, for me, just like any other layman, fitness was all about looking at those gym posters where I always saw Arnold being the pose at the front of the gym showing his biceps and triceps. Sometimes it might not be his face, sometimes it is the owner's face photoshopped. But I think that is the exact fitness that I saw every time. And that is something that didn't appetize me as much. And because that was the only picture that I had when it comes to fitness as a whole. Now, walking through fitness, when I first joined one of the biggest fitness firms right now, I understood fitness is a lot different thing. And when I was undergoing training to become a coach, a fitness coach, this is one story that I heard, and probably that will be a kickstarter to the conversation that we're having right now, which is as much as we were new to fitness, we were not new to a few things around. It can be as simple as your financial planning. And here I would start off with a similar lines of what I have heard, and then I want to share with you and how it relates to fitness quite well, which is starting off with financial planning. If you are getting money, say you got employed and then you're getting money every month, the thing that you can do with money is three things. One is spend, second is invest, and third is to save. And for me, when I heard this, I was quite relating to it because I have been earning for about 5 years by then. And I could definitely relate to that and then answer back. But had it been about fitness, I might not have. And when the person who's presenting this, I was quite keenly observing him, and then how I was amazed by how he drew parallels between what financial planning was and how is it much related to fitness as a whole. Now, imagine your salary is something that you're getting every day, and financial planning is something that you're doing with it. Now, your financial planning is basically what your fitness planning is. And money is something that you have to do with it. And three things that come along with money is your ability to spend, invest, and save. Now, each of us have different priorities in life. Coming from the background, maybe you will choose to spend wisely on how do you want to utilize money in these three. If I had more money, I would rather spend. But if I don't, I would like to save. Or maybe if I have decent amount of money, I would like to invest. Now see how these parallels come along, which is investing is something like bodybuilding or making sure that your muscle is being improved. Your spending is like burning out those calories. And third is saving, is putting in that fat back into your body. And I was really amazed and then intrigued to know how are these parallels affecting in the fitness journey of mine. And just like how financial planning works, I think fitness as a whole is also that way. It's a balance of all of these three things. And when I started to understand where, starting from one example, let me take a couple of examples here, which are usually the crowd when it comes to fitness. And that is what I've observed as a fitness coach. One is the set of crowd who want to make sure that they want to build body and make look good. And the second are the ones who want to lose weight. This is how they start their goals. And then it eventually changes once they are in this journey. So it all depends on these three factors, which is how you invest, how you spend, and how do you save. It is important to balance these three things. And in fitness language, it is how much of mass are you able to retain and how much of your fat are you able to retain in your body. Second is how much of muscle are you putting up, and third is how much are you shredding. And then the balance of this to me is fitness, and that is what I also say to my fellow members when it comes
Probably I'll be the only one as a
Okay.
moderator, but it depends on the conditions. If I lose the connection, then Dhanush would take it off.
I get that. Okay, continuing forward. I think that's one of the biggest analogies that did strike me, and then as a layman, I could relate to. Going forward, when I started to become a fitness coach, a lot of people came and then said, I want to lose weight, and that's why I'm doing cardio for about 6 days straight. And 7th day is something that I'm doing yoga for stretches. As much as I like their enthusiasm to lose weight much, I figured out that it doesn't work that way. And let me bring you those two cases that I was talking about. One is about losing weight, second is about gaining mass and putting up those muscles that most of you dream of. When it comes to losing weight, it is not a simple formula. It might seem, because Google is quite out there, and then you see what is to be done. One is definitely there, which is cardio helps you lose weight. But I'm sure the other coaches here being here in the talk will agree with me. Cardio is one thing that is definitely bad to your body if done entirely throughout the week. That is how I can put it. Because if cardio is done excessive without any strengthening, it hurts your shin, it hurts your knee, and it hurts your ankle. And injuries are very prone, because when you're losing weight, you also lose muscle through excessive cardio. And when you don't strengthen your body enough, is when your body is not cooperating with you in terms of cardio. And that is where I see there is a mismatch. And not many people who wants to lose weight will understand this. And that is where I see where you don't balance these three aspects of invest, spend, and save a lot in fitness is not going well. So it is important to balance these three things. Make sure that you have a lot of fat content which is necessary. Second is the muscle content that is necessary. And third, you also shred weight. And second thing is, this being said, I think the other set of fitness enthusiasts who wants to build muscle might be thinking, then we are doing a good job here. But that is not the other case also. When it comes to building your muscle, what is also important is your cardiovascular energy or your breath control. Because to lift a lot of weights, especially with a lot of reps, you need to have your cardiovascular energy put up, and that can only happen through cardio. So it is actually a balance of, and in fact, even if your goal might be to improve your muscle or your strength, or to lose weight or any other thing, it is important to balance all these workouts put together. And that is what I understood as a coach. And drawing parallels to what I've heard in the business world, it is as simple as your financial planning. And you might be wondering why I'm talking about all this planning and how workouts go well when I'm talking about designing as a whole. Designing your workout always starts with one thing, which is understanding your goal. And that goal might change once you achieve it, but I think it starts with seeing what that goal is and how do you approach it, and revise your goal time to time. Now, we did take a couple of scenarios where each of these links, each of these two different situations are placed, and we understood probably what is the necessity to balance each workouts every day. Now, if you ask me as a mental model, what is good? Probably if you're trying to lose weight, not more than 4 cardio sessions every week, and do a 2 strength or stretches sessions every week, and take a day's break, because your body needs to cope up, and then it also requires break sometimes. It is just like those weekends for your body. Pick one day and then take a break, and then make sure that you do a little more on what you want to stress. If it is losing weight, it is cardio. If it is about gaining muscle, it is about strengthening, and your coaches will be right there to help you. But I think at the end of the day, designing your workout is all about balancing what you want and prioritizing and giving more time to what you want to see your goal at the end of the day. And what is more important is also to go back, revisit once you achieve your initial goal, and set other goals each time. Just like how in finance and in earning money, we are quite familiar with, we don't want to earn less than what we have earned yesterday. It is all about being better. Fitness, I don't think, is any different. It is all about being better than today, and it is not about comparing with anyone else. And that's how I see fitness it is, and that is what something that I've learned as a coach, and I also do tell everyone out there. So that should be the end of what I wanted to share, and I'll be happy to answer if there are any questions. I can't see the questions or the chat here, so if the moderator could help me ask if there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Else, I'll be looking forward to Milin's talk here.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a great discussion about fitness and workout, like how you explained about how you're designing, and that it was great to have you, sir, literally. And now, sir, I have a great question for you.
Please.
Sir, actually, for example, I came to you, like I'm having such a great weight, I'm so much heavy, then how you will guide me for to become a great, to have a perfect body? How you will start guiding me for that? What was the main thing that you will teach me for it? Please.
Okay, if I can re-understand the question, it is if you are overweight, and then how do I help you in?
Yeah, how you will help? Sure.
So it's like this. Now compare. Now as we are comparing multiple things here, see how weight can be things like the money that you have, and then how you want to spend it. And spending wisely is something that we have learned throughout. Now, how do you want to spend it is something that is more dependent on you, but going slow and steady will always help. And as I said earlier, it is not even healthy to lose a lot of weight. And with the research that I've done, and also with a few other coaches telling me, it is only advisable to lose in a healthy way. It is only advisable to lose 4 to 5 kgs every month. So it is because you don't run out of whatever that you have in your body. It is as simple as that. Now, if you can see it on a parallel lines, just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean you have to spend it, right? So that is how I see it. And going wisely step by step is something that I would say. And once you understand the balance between both, it is as simple as understanding fitness than anything.
Literally, sir. Literally. Thank you so much, sir. So I will ask another speakers if they have any of the question to ask from Navneet, they can go on. Milin, sir, we can't listen you. Please unmute it. Yeah.
Actually, I like the analogy that he was drawing in terms of the finance and health, and I completely agree with him. The invest, the spend, the save. Yep, I love the analogy. I think it's easier for people to understand when you touch point with things that they really understand as money.
I too also loved his talk, and the thing is that I myself being a marathon runner, so it was a conflicting mindset that I have to do a lot of cardio to be a good runner. So yeah, but given the fact that I really think that strength training is much more important.
Correct.
So now, sir, as I can see that someone has put in a question over here. They are asking that it is easy or difficult for you for starting fitness training.
Fitness training. So I've never been in fitness as much as the others, or when I say others, I haven't known much about Parag, but the other speaker, Milin, he did have a lot of certification by his end, etc. And I think by means of certifications, he's a little way ahead of what India could have achieved in terms of fitness. So I think I'll let more him talk about him. But I think when you ask me, is it difficult? I still ask you which kind of training would you want to give at the end of the day? For me, I was associated with a dance club earlier, and then I like to dance. So for me, a cardio-based workout training has attracted me more than that of weight. Now, if we are having a conversation here today about fitness, and I'm one of those persons who you've seen that I don't have much of muscles, not to talk about fitness in general, but if you ask me about my cardiovascular energy, I think I can do a little decent there. So that is where I see, if you are wanting to do training by yourself or become a coach, at the end of the day, it depends on what your style is like. I might not like, personally, I don't as much like weights, but then I do to maintain my body strength. But what excites me more is is workouts like dance fitness, which is quite popular these days. Or I also like body combat, which is not much heard of. And I believe Milin will be having something to say if he has a question on body combat later.
Yeah, sure. So go on with it.
So yeah, these are the couple of things that I like to do. So it boils down to what you like, and then it reflects to teaching as well. Because if you don't like to start with, there's no point in teaching it.
So if any of the
Vedanti,
speaker have any questions? Yeah.
Can you just remind me the exact same point while I talk? I have few things to say in this regard.
Okay, sure, sir. Sure. I will love to put questions before you all. Truly. Because I believe in fitness and all that. Truly. Okay. So now thank you so much, Navneet. Thank you so much for telling such a great topic about designing your workout. How you can actually design your workout. Truly. So thank you so much, sir. Now we will move on to our next speaker, Milin Mathew, who is an entrepreneur in health and well-being. He will be speaking on the topic mindset towards fitness. Over to you, Milin.
Hey guys, let me quickly share my slides so that it's easier for me to showcase what I want to talk today. Cool. Like, as rightly Vedanti said, that my topic is mindset towards fitness. And I think one of the questions that came across, which is basically how difficult is it start, or what do I do when I start? I think to a certain extent, I should be able to address that as well. So Navneet, I've got you. All right. So cool. So initially start off, let me begin with introducing myself, who I am and why am I here, and what is the credibility that I come here with when I speak to. So this is my story. I got into this fitness industry around 17 years back. Right now I'm an entrepreneur. I have a company by the name TrioFit, which is around 7 years old. But my strength comes from what I've been doing for the last 17 years. I've been a personal trainer, I've been a group exercise instructor, I've been a manager, senior manager, and running the business. And I've come across thousands of members and hundreds of trainers whom I've interacted with. I think with all that experience that I've got from all this is where I'm able to showcase and tell you with complete authority that fitness always starts in your mind. It always starts with the right mindset that you have. Irrespective of what you do, your mind always comes first, which is where I've come up with my own framework, which is called a mind flex, because I'm always intrigued in how the mind works, how the behavior. And I don't think there's more challenging or something more challenging than fitness as well, because fitness is one of the most aspiring thing, but it's one thing that people don't even move towards that, right? So moving forward to that, today's topic will be covered in 3 segments. The first segment, why is our mind the way it is towards fitness? What stops us or what makes us move towards fitness? So that's the first part that I'll be covering. The second part is how to change that. Now we understand how the mind works. Now, how do I change it towards the betterment of my body and the betterment of my mind? That's the second part. The third part will be, once I've done the changes, how do I maintain that so it becomes more of a lifestyle and not just something which I do because I want to do this or I want to do that. No short-term goals. Something which I want to keep it as a life, because that's when fitness or health starts benefiting you. All right. So the first question, why is our mind the way it is towards fitness? If you need to understand, every human behavior revolves in certain 1 or 2 aspects, and the root cause for that is because humans always wants to avoid pain. Yeah, that's what the data says. The survey says all human behavior revolves around the avoidance of pain. Okay, there is another school of thought which says our behavior revolves around getting pleasure, which we move towards pleasure. That's perfectly correct. But why are we moving towards pleasure? If I'm sitting in a room and if the temperature goes up and I don't like that, and I go to a room which has a temperature which is more, let's say if some AC which is in the right temperature, I like to move towards that because I want to move away from the pain that has been caused by this temperature. So every time the root cause is avoidance of pain. All right. Once we understand that, once we anchor to that understanding, brings me to the second point, which is basically, now when you look at exercise, there's so much of resistance because people think that it leads me to some kind of a body pain, or even the pain that it takes me away from my comfort zone. So imagine these two are the combination. There's a resistance that is stopping you from moving towards that because there's an effort. All right. And the other side, I'm more comfortable here. I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. So this is the most lethal combo that we can ever have, the resistance and the comfort zone. Now, how do we break that? But before that, let us understand more in terms of how our mind works. All right. The next topic. Now, if you see at my screen, there's something which is really yummy looking there. That's a burger. And there's somebody who is actually relaxing on a couch or a beanbag. Okay. Now, on the right-hand side of my screen, you'll find, let me call it a salad or a healthy food. And then you can see a symbol for some kind of an exercise or physical activity. Now, if I'm going to give these two options, majority of us are going to choose something which is on the left-hand side of the screen. Because why? Because it gives us instant gratification. The minute I bite the burger, I relish the juice. I really like the taste. I like the flavors that it's giving me. So there's an instant gratification that happens. All right. And when people start thinking about healthy foods or something which is more on the healthier side, the gratification is delayed because they don't get the taste immediately. Yes, there are different ways to make it tastier, which is another topic altogether. But in general, people look at that as something which is not tasty. I don't enjoy that kind of a food. That's a mindset. So this here itself, we already have a block. I don't want to get into that because I'm not going to enjoy the good things of my life. All right. Another point with the same example is that on the left-hand side, when you have a burger or when you're relaxing on the couch watching Netflix, the effects, basically the bad effects or the weight gain, whatever you're going to go through is on the long run. Your mind fails to see what is far ahead. Your mind always sees what is right in front of you. There's a lot of, you need to train your mind a lot even to see what happens in the fire. So there is a bad effect that's in the long run, but your mind doesn't see it. So it starts enjoying what it eats. But on the other side, there is good effects. There's a silver lining that is there, but it's on the long run. You might have to do it on a mode of 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, whatever your goal is. So there's a long run. So here, there's a mind which is saying, I enjoy this instant gratification. I love the taste. I'm relaxing and watching Netflix, and I don't want to do that. There's resistance to do that. And you're coming out of the comfort zone to do that, right? So you don't want to move towards it. This is the second reason how your mind works. And the last one, and this is something which I tell people every time, please be careful with the kind of diets, the kind of exercise that you go. Nothing extreme will help you. All right. This image is very clear. This person is doing yoga or working out. She's sitting on a weighing machine. Somebody is thinking about pizza. Another person is thinking about partying around. So there is a lot of deprivation that goes along. So let me give an example. If I'm a guy who likes biryani, okay, let's say I enjoy that. I enjoy having it. And somebody's going to come and tell me, hey, Milin, you need to stop eating biryani completely if you want to get results. Okay, maybe I'm a bit motivated at that particular moment because yes, I want to do that. But what happens after 2 weeks? What happens after 4 weeks? I start binging on that. The reason is because my mind is going to go back and think, hey, I have one life, I lead one life. And if I'm going to deprive myself of all this, what's being alive? I don't enjoy my life at all. So my thing is always moderation. Know when to give and when to take, right? So do not deprive yourself from anything. Know when to have, what to have, and how to have that. So this is how your mind works. So summarize, all human behavior revolves around avoiding the pain. I don't want to have any kind of trouble, pain. I don't want to go through that. So then what we do, it becomes a lethal combo because resistance plus comfort is something which is against being physically active, right? And instant gratification is a big no. A big no, because on the long run, it's going to give you all the bad effects that is there. Last one, deprivation leads to binging. Yes, we don't want to. So we have lost 1 kg, we go back binging and we put on 2 kgs. Then the whole idea of exercising, being fit is lost, right? That brings me to the second point. Now we know how our mind is, what our mindset is and how it works, right? What is trying to avoid, what is it trying to gain? Now, how do we change that, or how do you take the advantage of that towards being healthier and fit in terms of your mindset? So I'm sure a lot of people would say motivation is the king. Motivation is what exactly we need to achieve our goals. achieve the results that we're looking for, lose gain, weight gain, get into a competition, whatever your goal is, motivation, motivation, motivation. But here I'm here to say motivation is not the right thing for your mind to work, because there are two kinds of motivation. One is an extrinsic motivation. This basically means I watch a video and I get goosebumps and I'm saying, hey, I'm going to work out today, I'm going to lose weight. Or you must have seen Salman Khan or Hrithik Rosh's movie action scene. I'm like, oh my God, I want to have that body, right? So that's the extrinsic motivation. What happens with extrinsic motivation, that it requires a lot of willpower. There's so much an effort that is going, because it is going against your system. It is going against that you've been doing for so many years. And so you need to have a lot of willpower to even to start off. Once you start, there's so much of friction that comes your way. And willpower, guys, trust me, willpower is tiring, because we cannot keep keying the willpower every single time. It's energy draining. You don't want to do that. But there are people who work out regularly. There are people who are healthy. There are people who choose a healthier side of food and the physical exercise. The reason being motivation, which is extrinsic for them, over a period of time, it is moved from extrinsic to intrinsic. Yes, it goes from outside, or a motivation that is coming from outside, to a motivation that's coming from inside. I will tell you how that happens when I'm speaking about the goal setting, right? But that comes from inside. Once it comes from inside, I'm gonna start making habits around it, because that's important for me. I'm already motivated within. I create habits that becomes easy for me to work out. I create habits that is helping me move towards my goal. When it's a habit, it's natural for us. It's like you wake up. Are you putting an effort to go brush your teeth? No, right? It's become a habit over a period of years. So you get up, you don't think, you just go brush your teeth, because you know it's important, you know it's healthy, you know it's hygienic. So it's become natural. Once it is natural, it's an easy flow. Yeah. So all of us start with an extrinsic motivation. Majority of them starts an extrinsic motivation that slowly leads to intrinsic, which means it moves, it seeps into your life, it becomes a lifestyle. All right. So that is one thing. The second thing which I'm going to talk about is body goes where the mind goes. Remember in the beginning, I told you, your mind is the king. When your mind decides something and move towards it, your body blindly follows that. Deciding anything is how we're deciding everything. All right. This is a very important sentence that's pretty much changed the way I think about doing certain things. I've been in this industry for the last 17 years. I've always been active. I was into dance. I was into sports. I played for Karnataka twice in national basketball. So being physically active has always been there. But there are times where I feel so low. There are times where I feel like I don't want to work out. So I started creating a pattern in terms of when are those times and what happens when those kind of things starts coming into my head. So this is what used to happen. I used to wake up in the morning. Either I used to snooze and go back to sleep, or I do wake up, I sit on the bed, and then I start thinking, can I sleep 5 more minutes? The climate is so cold. It's cozy here. Oh, I have to go make the breakfast before I go for workout. I have to pack up things. I have to wear this. I have to wear. Then eventually, when I check the pattern, what happens? Eventually, I don't end up going for my workout. I just go to sleep, or I just sit on my couch. All right. So the best way to avoid that, and the way I try that, and it has really worked for me, is remote thinking. Remote thinking. Make your life easier to decide. Right? As ancestors, the long back ago, our ancestors were in the forest. There was a bush. If there's something behind the bush, we don't know if it's going to kill us, or we don't know if it's going to, if it's something that I can kill and eat. Right? So it is always that kind of a situation we are in, and we always trained and practiced to save energy. So decision making is energy consuming, like willpower. So the lesser you decide, the easier you make to decide certain things, is easier for you to do. So one of the way to do is remote thinking is the previous day, I'll make sure my shoes are kept. I've packed my bag. My breakfast, let's say if it's muesli, if it's cornflakes, whatever you guys going to have, or protein shake, make it and keep it in the fridge. All you have to do is heat it up. So I'm removing all the resistance that's going to crop up in the morning. So all I have to do in the morning is get up, just go. The minute I start the momentum, the first move, the momentum, everything else falls into place. All right. So body goes where the mind goes. Another technique that you guys can follow in terms of how to change things is very simple. You just remember, or be conscious about the words that you use. For example, I'm going to keep one example, which is very simple. You guys can start applying for a lot of other things. Something which says can't versus don't. Okay. Let's say you've been you've gone to a party, and one of your friends says, hey, listen, this pizza is amazing, why don't you try it out? So there are two ways you can reply. One is no, I can't eat. Okay, another way of replying the same is no, I don't eat. You see the difference? I can't eat, which basically means I can't, but maybe I could try. I don't, you're actually eliminating the thought process of doing. I'll give another example to understand that. And this is something which you guys will quickly understand. If you're a vegetarian who's been told certain principles to follow in life, okay, and if somebody offers you non-veg, you don't say, I can't eat. What will you reply? You will say, I don't eat, which basically means I'm eliminating the thought of I could, right? By using the word I don't. So whatever you speak, your mind is going to hear that. So using the right word at the right time is extremely important for you to keep yourself motivated. So this is just an example. So from next time on, if somebody offers you something which deviates you from your goal, just say, I don't eat, I don't do this, I don't do that, instead of saying I can't, right? Simple, but very, very powerful. The keystone habits are something which I gave an example is when I wake up in the morning, the first thing is getting out of my bed. Once I get out of my bed, everything falls into place. So that's a keystone, so a key that basically triggers everything else. One way to do is change one thing every week. Don't add too many things to your lifestyle. Don't add too many things to change. Just change one per week. Because as human beings, we don't like it to be a burden. We want it to be easy. We like challenges, which basically means we like the element of surprise and curiosity. So I've done this for 7 weeks. I have a sense of achievement. In the next week, I will add one more thing. So there's only one thing at a time instead of burdening yourself with so much. This helps you create a new habit. This helps you create a new ritual. Not necessarily just fitness, anything in your life, all right? The second is don't fix, just build. This is a big one, guys. This is a big one. Don't fix, just build. Basically means, I'll give an example of myself. If I'm going to the gym and I'm working out and my coach tells me, start working out 6 days a week. Don't eat this. Don't do that. All right. Now understand, I've been living my life in a certain way, in a certain pattern for so many years. And then suddenly there's somebody who comes and tells me, don't do this, don't do that, fix this, eat less, eat more. All right. But what I would suggest to you is something, instead of removing anything from what is your day-to-day, just add something, just build on it. Now, if you're a guy who likes eating sweets, please continue eating sweets, but add 10 minutes of workout, add 15 minutes of workout, whatever time frame that you're able to give to yourself. So here, that's the goal. So you added an exercise, added a healthy habit, and then here you're continuing with your pattern of what you'll be doing every day. All right. Let's say 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you start feeling good because you're doing something nice. Your body starts responding to you very positively. Your mind starts feeling so confident that on your own, you will say, okay, if I'm having 3 sweets a day, let me cut it down to 2 sweets. So you get that? So I've added, I'm building it, and I'm going to remove just one at a time. And your mind will never realize, it'll never recognize that something has been reduced because I'm enjoying this a lot. So this can be done in everything. Don't fix, just build. Just add, and remove slowly. But just add. It's better to work out and then eat than not working out and eat, right? That's the better devil. The last one on this topic is hygienic surroundings. I just spoke to you, I gave an example when think in the morning, when you start thinking a lot, that is because there's a lot of friction, there's a lot of resistance that I have to make breakfast, I have to do this, I have to pack my bags. So clean your surroundings. Clean your surroundings, what basically means the previous night, you prepare everything and keep. So next day when you wake up in the morning, you don't have that friction. Another thing is sometimes, let's say you want to learn playing guitar, or you want to start a workout or marathon running, keep something that is always, keep that particular, like let's say guitar, keep the shoe in a place where you always see that. So when you're walking in the hall, you see the shoe, it's a reminder for you. All right. So add that kind of a element somewhere in the way that you pass, either walking, when you sit in the office, wherever it is, just keep that around you. So it's constantly reminding you. In that way, you're keeping your hygiene, you're keeping your surroundings clean by adding something and removing something. So that's the whole idea of addition and subtraction. Make your life easier by removing the decision making. All right. And guys, give time. Give time. If you're 30 years old and if you're having certain health issues, you can't expect your body to reverse in 30 days, right? That's not fair. That's definitely not fair. So, but the good thing about the body is that it doesn't take 30 years to reverse back to what you want to. Your body adapts quickly, and it turns really fast when he starts working out, starts eating healthy. So that's the good news, right? When it comes to time, I think Navneet also kind of mentioned about finance. There are two things that always human or we people want it quick. It has to be a quick, it has to be a quick solution. One is my finance. I want to be rich quick. Possible? Not possible. I want to be healthy fast. I want to have a shortcut. I want to have 6 packs in 6 days. Possible? Not possible. Even if it's possible, please don't try, because that's not the right way. It's not healthy to do that. All right. So give time. So quickly, motivation, it moves from extrinsic to intrinsic. Body goes where the mind goes. Remove decision making. Verbalize it. The whole thing. Can't versus don't. Example. Keystone habits. Change that one habit that makes everything else falls into place, and give time. Right. So the third part is how to maintain. Now we've got all this. We understand why, and we know how to change. Now, how do I maintain that? Read this quote. The key is not to prioritize what's your schedule, but to schedule your prioritize, which basically means if I'm starting to create a habit, I want to work out. All right. Decide when you want to work out. 6 a.m. in the morning, schedule everything around it and not the other way. Successful people always know what is important to them. They always fix that on a particular time. They don't change it. Everything else changes according to that. So fix the time. If you ask somebody who's been healthy, who's been working for a long time, they always say, I work out first thing in the morning. I work out in the afternoons every day. I work out in the night before I go to sleep every day. So there's always a pattern. It's every day they fix to that, and everything else revolved around it. Consistency is the way to maintain this. One very simple way to maintain this, because we are humans, we do fail, right? But don't beat yourself. Follow this formula, follow this principle. It'll be easy for you to stay consistent. No matter what happens, don't miss your workout or anything that you've decided for 3 consecutive times. I missed my workout on Monday. That's perfectly fine. Don't beat yourself. That's okay. You missed your workout on Tuesday. It's still okay. But don't miss on Wednesday. No 3 consecutive times you're going to miss your workout, or you're not going to miss the way you eat or anything that you've decided. So consistency is important. And this way, you're not beating yourself up. You're giving the leeway. And at the same time, you're able to maintain that consistency. Don't miss 3 in a consecutive go. That's important. The proximity is power is going to help you maintain this changes that you're done for lifelong. One, always have the right people around you. There's a quote which says basically, you show me 5 people and show me your 5 friends or show me your 10 friends and I'll tell you what kind of a person you are, right? So keep yourself with healthy, positive mind people. Have a friends who actually work out, or motivate them to start joining you for workout. It's going to create a healthy ecosystem. Or you could choose your spouse. Now the benefits, or the added benefit of when you choose your spouse, is that you're working out 1 hour, but then when you come back home, you both are in the same mindset to eat right. So there's a lot of team play happening. I'm going to buy the right food. I'm going to cook the right food. I'm going to push you for workout. The entire family stays fit. So you choose how you like. Proximity is power. See who are you surrounding with. Every successful people do that. The last one is the goal setting. Now, goal setting is something which people speak in different ways. The way I tell you is, don't set a goal without a why. Now, the reason I'm saying the magic of 3 whys is basically because if somebody comes to me and says, I want to lose weight, if I'm going to ask why you want to lose weight, if they say, I want to lose weight because there's a wedding coming up, or I just want to, why are you in the gym? I want to lose weight. Okay. So that's not the answer. That's not the why you want to lose it. So ask them 3 whys, so why are you here? I want to lose weight. Okay. I understand you want to lose weight. Why do you want to lose weight? So then he might just start thinking deeper and says, I want to lose weight because I want to fit into a particular shirt or a t-shirt or a jeans. Okay, perfect. Now the third why, you ask him, why do you want to fit into the jeans? Why do you want to fit into this t-shirt? Then he's going to go deeper into his emotional level and understand why. So then he might come up and say, hey, listen, I want to lose weight because I want to be more confident. I want to lose weight because I want to have right posture. I want to lose weight because I want my kids to see me and I want to be a role model for my kids. Those are emotional touch points. And those emotional touch points are the reason why you need to start healthy. And if you anchor that into your head, you will never deviate from your goal. All right. Ask 3 whys, get deeper into why you want to lose weight, not just lose weight, not just gain weight. Why you want to gain weight? Why do you want to exercise? Ask questions. All right. Next, goddess of small things. Be the goddess of small things every time. You need to set a goal which is long term. Yes, 1 year, 2 years, 6 months, whatever the long term goal is. But don't forget to celebrate the short wins, right? Even if the win is as small as this week, I worked out 5 days a week. Perfect. Celebrate that. Because when you celebrate that, you're associating your mind with anything that you're doing difficult as something which you're having fun with, something that you want to do more often, right? So always short-term wins, you need to celebrate short-term wins. Others, you're not going to sustain for a long time, all right? Long-term goal, but short-term wins, celebrate that. Don't do temporary goals. Now you might be saying, what is a temporary goal? I'm going to show you, go show you image and you will know what's a temporary goal. Yeah. I want to get married in 2 months, so I want to lose weight. I want to fit into my tuxedo. I want to fit into my gown. I want to fit into my sari, blouse. Don't set those kind of goals, guys. So, people say, I want to set those kind of goals because I want to look good on that particular day. Then my question is, why do you want to look good just for one day in your life? Why don't you look good every day? Why don't you feel good every day? Why don't you feel positive every day? That's my question, right? So don't set temporary goals. Yes, you can set a goal to lose weight for your wedding, but that should be a short term. Your long term should be something which should continue even after you get married. Because what happens in a temporary goal, you set a goal, you have the target right in front of you, you reach the day, and you won that. Post that, you have nothing to look forward to. So what happens? You go back to putting on weight. That's what happens to married couple who do that, right? You will go back and see them after 2 months, 3 months, 95% of them either have gone back to what weight they were, or they have become heavier than that. That's because once they reach the goal, they don't know what else to do. So always have a long-term goal, but have short terms so that you win. Same thing with marathon guys. They run because my friend is running. After the marathon, I think I've done enough. Then they go back to that. No, it should be a lifestyle. It should be constant. So these are the 3 ways you can maintain and sustain goals. To summarize, very easy. Consistency, don't miss 3 things at a time. Proximity is power, friends, family, whoever it is around, they say goals, 3 whys, goddess of small things, celebrate the wins, and temporary goals. Don't stick to the temporary goals. That's not going to work for you. All right, bottom line. So 3 segments. Understand why we went through that, how to change, we went through that, and how to maintain that. All right, so this is towards the end of my presentation. Now all these have come from my experience, and I have come up with my own framework called MindFlex. So whatever I spoke to you is within or around MindFlex methodology that I've come with. It's a framework that is my IP, and this is just little bits and bits about how it works, right? So yes, there was a question which says, how difficult is it to start the workout on those lines? My answer is very simple. Your workout, your decision is not in the gym. Your workout, your decision starts in your mind. Understand and set the right goal in a healthy way, and you will be able to sustain throughout the life, right? So if you have any questions, anything that, or you want to connect with me on any particular line, this is the way you can connect. These are my social handles. You can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. There's a podcast that I do. It's called Curious Optimist. Okay, just connect me through my email ID. It's right there. All right, cool. So I think I've gone beyond my time, but I couldn't stop. I'm so passionate. I want people to be healthy, to be fit, but I want to do it in the right way, right? So thank you, guys. Before they chase me out, I'm stopping. Thank you.
Sir, I'm in love with your words, truly, because you know what, that we see a motivational video and some people gets energetic with that, and they say that now we will follow that thing, we will follow, and afterwards they forget that the main point of the video, truly. And I know that most of the participants and attendees who are listening your video, who are listening your webinar, will follow whatever the word you said, whatever the presentation you showed, that slides, everything they will follow. The main words, the solutions to every queries. Truly, sir, it was amazing. Truly.
Thank you.
Such a motivation.
And really nice this forum has come up because Navneet spoke out how to design workouts, right? So that is great. We need that. Now I've spoken how to set their mindset ready. Now there's another guy who's coming after this who's actually achieved that in certain ways, who was a big kid. Now he's lost weight, is looking more handsome now. So I think I'm excited to listen to Parag.
Sir, it was truly amazing. Sir, one of your slide, you mentioned about your company. So
Correct.
How did your company start? It will great. It will be much interesting to listen about that. Please share about it.
So my company is called TryoFit. Okay, so I have a partner as well by the name Pratik. So we both started this around 7 years back. We both are from the fitness industry. Each one of us are around 17 years of experience in this industry, and we come from different strengths. He comes from a strength of training the trainers. I come from a strength of training people, doing group classes and those kind of. So the combination helped us a lot, and we started off this company as helping more on a B2B basis, helping the health clubs, helping corporates how to conduct things and how to manage certain things. We also train the trainers. We train the group exercise instructors, like that, the yoga, martial arts, different kind of things. So we train and certify them as well. So that is how TriFit started. So now we have come up with our own IP models, where Pratik is working on a different model, which is called personal training business acceleration. So if you're a personal trainer and you want to take it on a business level, how do I do that? So Pratik is an expert in that. I've come up with something called a MindFlex technology, a MindFlex methodology, where mind comes before the body. Mind comes before anything you do. If I wanted to do this presentation, if my mind was not okay with that, I don't think I would be sitting here. I would never be doing that. If Parag wanted to lose weight, he would never have lost weight if he had not decided, for whatever the reason. He would ask, there's an emotional reason why he wanted to lose weight. He didn't lose weight because he wanted to lose weight. Losing weight is not a big deal. I can do that, you can do that. But why I want to lose that, and that emotion is going to stay with you. And that's your anchor point. That's the emotion that you want to hold on to, so you stay for a longer time. And that becomes a lifestyle. And now he's motivating people. And I'm sure Navneet also would have a brilliant story on the similar lines. There's an emotion, there's a reason why he's staying with that fitness, why he's training people, why he got into coaching. There is a reason for that. Yeah.
Sir, I can see a question over here that they're asking that how you will motivate youth to stay fit in this time of Corona crisis.
Right.
Such a great, interesting topic.
It's good. I know we are all
Yeah.
in this pandemic situation. We are all in this challenging mode where all of us are looking for answers, right? But unfortunately, not everybody has answers for that. And you don't need answers for everything. So one of the best way that you could do is stay positive. Stay positive. It's easy to say, but I would say one step ahead of that. Staying positive is not going to help you. I would say stay optimistic. Now, what's the difference between staying positive and optimistic? Staying positive is saying, I will do this. No matter what, I will do this. The situation is in a place where, let's say, for example, I'm out of my business. I'm not making money, but I will do it. That is the positive way of thinking, which is nice. But you need to be optimistic, because in positive, what happens now, you negate what's present and you forget where you're standing. So when you're optimistic, it is basically means this is where I am. I understand the facts. I did a SWOT analysis. I know what it is. Now I need to move forward, which means it's a decision that it's a very informed decision. So stay optimistic, and trust me, lockdown, Corona, no matter what happens to this planet, it's not going to be forever. And you're not going to be at home forever. There will be a day where you step out. There will be a day where you can start become healthier. There will be a day where you can start hitting the gym. So it is not the end of the world, guys. If you want to watch Netflix to get rid of it, do that, but that's perfectly fine. But understand, there's always a tomorrow. But for tomorrow, you need to decide today. What you are you today because you did something yesterday, and you will be who you are tomorrow depends on what you do today, right? So read books, watch people, listen to good things, listen to positive things, listen to optimistic things. That keeps your mind healthy. Because if the question is how does a youth keep, guys, you are the tomorrow of India. If you want to keep this moving, if you want to keep India fit, if you want to keep India good in finance, good in economy, whatever it is, we are dependent on you. I'm old right now. I'm already 40 years old. All right. So people like you should be staying optimistic. Connect with people who motivates you. Connect, have a mentor for yourself. That and listen, proximity is power. Remember, it's not only for staying healthy. It is also to staying positive. Stay with people who think optimistic. Stay with people who teaches you new things. And that way, you're keeping your mind ready. Always keep your mind occupied. Yeah, that's pretty much. That's the way you need to keep your mind.
So if any of the speaker have any questions, they can go on with it.
No, just he covered all the important points. Yeah.
Yeah, truly, Milin, you have truly covered each of the topics, each of the solutions for every query. Thank you so much. I really love to hear you. Truly.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think Navneet has any question. Yeah, go on with it.
My question, I have a couple of them actually, but I'll start with one.
Sure.
Probably connect with you with the other post that because it might become an essay answer. So the question that I have is, how did you start? So there must be a starting point. When you said you do multiple things, I'm sure there must have been a start when it comes to a specific kind of a workout. What did you start with? Now
So,
doing multiple, but what's
so
the first?
getting into the fitness industry was a serendipity. It was never a plan. I never set a goal when I was in school that I'm going to be a fitness entrepreneur. I'm going to be a personal trainer. We never set that goal, right? But I was always physically active. Like I said, I was into sports. I played national level basketball. I was always into dance. I'm a classical dancer. I've learned Bharatanatyam. I've trained Bharatanatyam dancer. So I've done jazz. So dance and physical activity is always there. So when I heard about a group exercise format, it had music, it had choreography, and it stayed fit. All right. So for me, it was amazing. If somebody is telling I can do the things that I enjoy and they're going to pay me for it, so there was no looking back for me post that. They were helping me, paying me to stay fit. They're paying me to move. They're paying me to enjoy music and create choreography. So that has been my start point in terms of being there. But otherwise, if you ask my qualification, education-wise, I'm just 10th pass. That's pretty much what my qualification is. My teacher, my guru has always been YouTube, Google, and Street. That's the platform that I've learned. And things have been rough, and that's helped me today. So if something is rough, like if you're talking about youths going through Corona, guys, it's good that you're going through this now because you're going to be tougher tomorrow. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Makes you strong.
So yeah, I started off because I was always physically active, and my dad passed away when I was 10 years old. So money was a big challenge at home, and my mom was a housewife. So it has always been a tough time financially. So if you ask me why, I think it's because I wanted to start earning faster. Because I wanted to make sure my mom is feeling better faster. So I think that was an actual reason why I started off. But then post I started, I loved it. It's my life now. It's something which I do for a living. I love inspiring people. I love motivating people. I like it when they're taking charge of themselves. It just gives me the goosebump. Is that something that answered the question, Navneet?
Yes, it did. Yeah.
Any other questions if you all have?
I think there was one question which said, which has a question which says, which is the best book you would like to suggest? I think one book that I would definitely recommend, let that be Corona time, lockdown or no, there's a book by Simon Sinek. It says, Why?
Why?
Understand why. There's a golden circle formula framework, and it's mind-blowing. All right. That's where you need to understand why. That gives you a purpose. All right. That is one book. I think the second book that changed my life completely is Anthony Robbins' Awaken the Giant Within. So I think these two books is a must if you're looking at staying positive, staying optimistic, moving ahead, looking for tomorrow. Yeah.
Can I add one more to it?
Sure.
I would suggest Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, because in current situation, that book will be really, really helpful for each and everyone. Like I really want that people should have a look at it.
Power of Now, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, so any of the questions left, and they can go on with it.
That's it.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much, Milin sir. Such a great motivation, truly. And everyone will love to hear you after this webinar. That they will see afterwards will truly motivational. Thank you, Milin.
It was my pleasure being here, and thanks to Navneet and Parag. You guys inspired me. You really inspired me. Thank you.
Okay, so now we have Parag Doodhya with us. He is a motivational coach, life coach, fitness influencer, and he will be speaking on the topic intersecting dots of life. Over to you.
So before starting, I must say that as far as technicalities of fitness industries are concerned, so other two gentlemen have pretty much covered a lot of things, and they are far more better than me to consult in that area. But what I'm going to talk about is more about, it is on similar lines what Milin said. It is more about mind, or it is about what fitness plays, what role it plays in your life. So coming back to the topic, intersecting dots of life. A lot of people think that this is a kind of like very mysterious kind of topic, or it is more kind of mathematics and things like that. But it's not like that. It's very easy. By dots, I mean various focus points of your life. For example, physical health, mental health, career, finances, personal relations, etc., etc. This is subjective to every individual, but yeah, this is how you could define various dots of your life, and each and every dot somehow affects your entire life. For example, let's say you are not doing good at your work, or your business is not doing good, so it will directly or indirectly affect your personal life. It will directly or indirectly affect your mental health, and this can be played around in other ways. If you don't have a good health, you won't be working at your full potentials and things like that. So that's what I mean by intersecting dots of life, because as far as long term is concerned, you have to have that balance, that you have to maintain every dot. Like in the short, for example, say 2 months back when lockdown was initiated, so at that time it was okay, like we have to be in a lockdown for a month or something like that, so people were willing to take that step. So in the short term that can be done. In the short term you can focus on one dot, that's pretty much okay. But since now it is more than 2 months, and it is going to extend even further and things like that, so now it is getting into head of people. So what does that mean is that in the long term you have to have that balance. So life works exactly similar to what we are in the current situations. In the long term you have to make that dots intersect. For some, fitness might be slightly more important than maybe work, that's okay, but there has to be a balance. Fair enough. So secondly, which I want to talk about is why fitness should be one of that dot in everyone's life compulsorily. Two things apart from the obvious benefits which you all must be knowing. The first thing, when I talk about mental and physical health, everything is in your control. Each and everything is in your control. Your business works or not may or may not be in your control. There can be n number of reasons, n number of aspects attached to it. But when I talk about physical and mental health, 100% comes down to your willingness to become better. What you eat, what you train, how your mind works, everything is entirely in your control. So that's one very important things which we need to keep in mind. Secondly, it should complement your life. It should not be like your life revolves around fitness unless and until you are a professional. Like Milin is a professional coach, professional trainer, so it's a different story for him. But people like you and me, it should complement your life. It should not be it should not like it should not life should not revolve around fitness. Like I am a student, so it's not like I'm spending 3 or 4 hours on my fitness and neglecting all other dots of my life. So you have to have that balance in our life. Then coming on to mindset, Millen has covered a lot of points on mindset, but one thing which I want to add on to is that like a question was asked earlier in this session, that how you would start or things like that. So I would want to answer that, is that mindset is what you need to start a fitness journey. What program you are going to start with, what nutrition or what diet you are going to take, is none of my business and is none of your concern, at least for few initial weeks or months or so. Because I say, when people ask to me like how should I lose weight, how should I become fit and things like that, so what I say to them, have that killer mindset. Because if you have that right mindset, you have faith in your abilities, like you have to do this anyhow, you have to get onto this journey anyhow, you have that why which Millen talk about. If you have that mindset right, your more than half journey is already done. You the biggest challenge you have already done. So that's what very important mindset is. So apart from this, I am a big fan of intermittent fasting, not because of the tons and tons of health benefits it offer, but more because it trains your mind. How? Like, if I know that I don't have to eat for let's say 16 hours or 18 hours, I have to have that self control, that I don't eat that. And that is true in every aspect of your life, because it's my mind, it's my hand that is going to have that food and eat in those fasting period. I have to control that. Everything is in my control, but we are not realizing it. Unconsciously we are just saying that I am hungry or I am this or that, but that's not what the case is. It's your mind, it's your hand, it's your mouth. you are going to eat that food by yourself. Now it's up to your self control, it's now up to your willpower that you are going to resist eating that or not. And that trains you for avoiding say junk food next time or things like that. And that's not true for only fitness, it's true for it's true in every aspect of your life. Let's say you have to say you are addicted to smoking or something like that. So it's your mind, it's your hand that is going to smoke a cigarette. It's up to your willpower, it's up to your self control who's going to stop that. So that's how you can train mindset, by taking up different challenges. For me, intermittent fasting was a challenge like 3 or 4 years back, but now I'm absolutely comfortable over it. Now apart from this, when we talked about how do you start and things like that, so again talking about that, I'm someone who started with just 3 kilometers of walking and running, absolutely zero strength training, absolutely zero uh, uh, I should say flexibility kind of things. Only 3 kilometers of walking or running, that's it. That's how I started. I'm not saying that's the best idea to do it, definitely not, but it's more about mindset. Since I started that day with 3 kilometers of running and things like that, I kept on building onto that. I started learning more about fitness, that how you can do different things, how your nutrition should be, how your diet should be, and things like that. So it's more about mindset. अगर मैंने वो mindset से आज से 4 साल पहले start नहीं किया होता, तो I wouldn't have reached there. I would have kept searching for that perfect training plan. I would have kept searching for that perfect nutrition plan. But mentally, things don't work like that. You have to have that mindset, you have to train that. Start with anything you like. You like dance, you like sports, you like running, you like gym, whatever you want. I am more concerned with how early you can start, how you are eager to start. So that's what very important. Now being a marathon runner, I what this is how I see my life, and this is what people can relate to it, is that marathon could be the biggest game changer of your life, or fitness in general, not marathon running itself. Because how there's one analogy which I built relating to marathon running very often. Say you want to start a business, and you are not comfortable, or you have various problems. Say you don't have enough funding, you don't have enough right people around you, and things like that. So I understand those points, but I will try to relate it to an analogy based on marathon running. During our marathon runs, there are 8 stations. There are stops at every 1 kilometer or 2 kilometer, where you can have water, where you can have food, where you can have electrol. You will have you will be assisted by a doctor and things like that. So there are times when you don't get enough food, or the right food there. There are times when there is no water on those 8 stations. So does that mean I have to stop there and stop running there? Absolutely not. Because I woke up that day to stand on start line and ensure that I finish that 21-kilometer mark or 42-kilometer mark, whatever it is. So I cannot stop at that 8 station because something is not cooperating with me, right? And that is true for every aspect of your life. If you have funding, you have to if you have a funding problem, you have to look out for ways to make it work and move on. I wouldn't stop at that 8 station, that okay, I'm done here. Since no one is cooperating me, or I'm not getting food, or I'm not getting water, I'm not going to stop there. I will have to move to the next 8 station. I will have to keep moving constantly. So that's how you could train your mind that okay, whatever problem is coming, you have to face it. Doesn't matter what it is. If you have a funding problem, you have to look for ways. If you don't have a good skill set, you have to look over it, that how you can improve on that. You have to work on that. Apart from this, there is one very famous saying which we runners quote, and that is true for people from all walks of life. And it is something like, running is the biggest metaphor of your life, and is is what you get is about what you put in. And that is true, because what we think is that, as Milin said about instant gratification, or being in comfort zone, we all somewhere look we all somewhere look into that, but the fact is that you will get the reward only on the basis of what the efforts you put in. You cannot think of any easy ways, easy path to get into. Like a lot of people uh, think of like easy way to lose weight, or how can I be a marathon runner easily and things like that. So what I say to them is that the moment you put that easy word out of your mind, things go easy, honestly, because after that you are willing to take any step to make that thing happen. You are willing to take any step to accomplish that goal, and that's how you success in that, and that's how you succeed in life. So I think that's a very important thing which one should keep in mind. Apart from this, this analogy is very true for every aspect, every dot of our life. Let's say we are having some conflicting relationship with a person, with a friend or someone else. So it's like that we people get so disappointed, so disheartened and things like that. But your life shouldn't stop. You have to move on. You have to keep moving ahead. You cannot stop at that aid station because your friend is not supporting you. That's not how your life gonna work. So that is something you can remind yourself every time you feel stuck in some situation, because a lot of people face this. Now apart from this, in the current scenario, if I talk about COVID-19, and there are two things which I want to mention, is that the future lies in making people understand, making people learn what fitness is. Like gyms and personal trainer are going to take a backseat, and home workouts and making people learn what fitness is, what workouts you can do, how your body functions, what your anatomy is, and things like that. That's where future lies as far as fitness industry is concerned, and I think people will start focusing on that. Secondly, the human existence, what we have forgot is human existence is based on one simple fact: survival of the fittest. And if we take a look at all those 5,000 deaths, around that number, which have happened in India, I'm not saying I'm saying that that's unfortunate, but what I'm trying to say is that it's more about survival of the fittest, and that's the basis of human existence. Because if you take a look at their medical history of all those 5,000 patients, I'm not sure of the exact percentage, but yes, a huge percentage died not only because of the COVID-19, but because it was they were also having heart diseases or some other medical issues or something like that. So it's not only COVID-19. So there is no need to be there's no need to be so negative. There's no need to have so much of fear in reality, because ultimately it's come down to survival of the fittest. So if anyone who believes that, okay, you live only once, you can eat as much as you want, you can enjoy as much as you want and things like that, I'm sure you must have come across people like that who say, "Arey, aaj kha lo, kal ka kya pata," and kind of that. But my answer to them is that the human existence functions on survival of the fittest. If in a current scenario you don't understand that, then I'm really doubtful that you will ever understand that. And it's your own responsibility to take care of yourself, to keep yourself fit in any way possible. It's not your family member, it's not your government, it's not your friends, it's not companies, it's not anyone. It's you have to keep yourself fit at any cost. Survival of the fittest. So that's pretty much of what I would wanted to say in my talk, and I would love to take any questions if you have.
Thank you so much, sir. Such a great discussion about fitness and life, the main topic that intersecting dots of life. The people will really understand that what are the main intersecting dots which we have to focus in our life. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, great question for you.
Yeah.
How did your journey begin? That you are a fitness
Okay.
influencer, life motivational coach. I want to say that people say that I want to become a doctor, I want to become a
Yeah.
chartered accountant, I want to become that engineer and all that. But you decided to become a fitness influencer, motivational and life coach. How was your journey? How did you decide it?
Uh,
Everything, sir.
okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So like intersecting dots of life is very true in this aspect also. I will tell you how. Few years back, I was diagnosed with a kidney disease, nephrotic syndrome, in which protein from our body gets flushed out through urine, and it results in all the complication. And for its treatment, I was prescribed corticosteroids. Steroids are definitely used to cure many diseases, but at the same time, they have a lot of side effects. And and some of side effects were like weight gain, rapid weight gain, and insane acne, pimples all over the body. It was so severe that I couldn't even see myself in the mirror, or maybe like cholesterol, blood pressure. There are n number of side effects. So I was going through that, and it took like 3 or 4 years to completely get over it. The disease relapsed for 3 times, and it was a long treatment for it. So while that was happening, so after that, my doctor suggested me that now your health is comparatively better, but since you have gained a lot of weight, you might have to face a lot of complications in the future. So I thought of taking care of my body. So after like few months, like initially to सबका attitude होता है ना कि यार करते हैं यार, ठीक है यार, वो that kind of attitude we all have. So I was no different. So I had that attitude, but after few months, I started engaging myself in some sporting activities, cricket, football, and things like that. So while playing cricket one day, I twisted my ankle, and one side effect of steroids is that it takes comparatively longer time to heal than what you would take or any other person would take. So a simple ankle sprain took another like a month and a half to heal. And during that time, I was like, I have gone crazy that this is not how I'm going to live my life. I have to become a better version of myself. I have to improve my fitness. I have to improve my health. I have to work on myself. So that's how I started. But that's not the end of the story. I the the As soon as I started, after like a month and a half or so, I was what should I say? I had so much of madness that I had to do it any case. मुझे तो करना ही करना, चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए, चाहे भूकंप आ जाए. So I had that attitude, but that backfired because within 15 or 20 days, I was I started with again 3 kilometers, and within 15 or 20 days, I was doing around 7 kilometers of walking or running. And that is way too much for your body to handle at so early stages of your fitness journey. So again, that backfired, and I had stress fracture on my left leg, and another injury, another a month or two passed by, and that was the very disheartening point in my life, that even if I'm trying to do something, it's not happening. I'm such a failure. My academics have suffered a lot in like say last 3-4 years. My health is not good. My confidence is to absolute like near zero, to be very honest. So I was in that situation. So after that, one day one thought stuck into my head that ki, ठीक है यार, एक बार try करते, let's try for once, let's see if it works this time. And I promised myself that I have to become a better version. So that's how I started my journey in 2015 and 2015, and since then I'm here, running and running.
Sir, I think people will get a great motivation at that time how you were and now what you are. Truly, it's a great inspiration for everyone to become a new version from before till now.
Yeah.
So if any of the speaker have any question to Parag, they can go on.
Nothing from my side. Good story.
My question in a way is answered, so I'm good with it.
So I think no questions now. So if any of the speaker want to speak about anything, they can go on with it. Anything, if they want to share something, they can go on with it.
I don't have. I think I've taken too much of a slot, and I've eaten up many people's time.
But Milin, I think you have a question from someone. I think you have a question from someone though.
Yeah, let me see.
Shashi, how many hours do you spare every day for your workout and reading? Okay. So there is something that I do in the mornings. There's a ritual that I follow in the mornings. I call it the magic mushroom moments. All right. So if you understand what is a magic mushroom, basically it's like something which is addictive. So those are the magic mushroom moments that I have. So there are three things that I do no matter what in the morning. The first thing is something I stay with myself. That's meditation. The second thing is I read something that feeds my mind, and then I do physical activity which basically feeds my body. So those are the three things basically I do. And if you ask me specifically how long do I work out, on an average, I would say 1 hour. On an average, I do an hour. Reading is something which goes on a daily basis. I do not just read books. I watch a lot of videos as well. Like I said, YouTube and Google are my teachers. So I spend a lot of time on YouTube learning. One of the reasons why my podcast is called Curious Optimist is because I'm a guy who's very curious. I ask a lot of questions. From childhood, I've been in trouble because I ask so many questions, because I want to know why it happens, how it happens. So if there's a question, that I immediately go to Google, then I read about it, or go to YouTube, listen about it. So that's pretty much what I've been learning. That's my workout and reading time. So on an average, an hour for workout, say an hour for reading as well, maybe a little bit more plus minus.
So I can see here that there's a question for Navneet, that it is saying that if not this profession, then what would it be? Anything else? If not this profession, then what will be anything else? Please say it.
So technically, I work full time as a UX designer and a project manager elsewhere. And this is something that I do apart from. So just like I share almost the same story as Milin when it comes to introduction to my workouts, etc. Because I like dancing, and there came an opportunity where I was a member, and someone said in the organization, you could probably also become a trainer if you're interested. And if I know that I was working out 1 hour each day, I didn't mind getting paid to do an extra hour, and that's how I started. So that's how my introduction to fitness at a coach level was, where I used to dance earlier with my dance group, and later when I lost touch, I thought I'll do dance fitness, and that's how I got introduced to dance fitness, and then I became a trainer and eventually worked with a couple of organizations. So this is technically my alternate career, if you can call, or my part-time career, but I'm still as much as love with it like my other career. So
Thank you so much, sir. So here I see for Parag's, it is saying that where you see yourself in 10 years.
Where do I see myself in 10 years? I
Yeah.
really want to inspire, motivate people as much as I can, because still I feel that I'm young and I have to experience a lot of things as of now, and I have to enter into corporate world and things like that. So I would want to build onto this and inspire and motivate on a very large scale, so that we could all together bring about a positive change. We could all become fit. We could all have a positive mindset. So yeah, that's what my plan is for next. Personal coaching is my plan for next 10 years.
Okay, sir. So anything else about for any of the speakers? If anything you want to say, then you can go on with it. Share something else.
I would want to add something.
Yeah, sure.
In the current scenario, like one of the person asked about how can you ask youth to be fit during COVID-19 and things like that. And we are all facing such situation. But what I personally feel is that 90% or around that, all of our worry comes from what happened in the past or what will happen in the future. Most of them, like you tell me any problem and somewhere in the mind it would be more about अरे यार कल क्या होगा, अरे यार मेरी जॉब होगी कि नहीं होगी, अरे यार मेरे को 2 दिन पहले उसने ऐसा बोल दिया, अरे ऐसा हो गया, and things like that. I hope you got my point. So we all are somewhere wandering here and there, but the fact is the real worry does not even exist. It's all our in mind. So why not let's be in the present moment and see what can we do to become better, what we can do to make this situation better in the present moment. So I think that would pretty much solve everyone's problem.
Truly, exactly, Parag. I think that we all had ended with our topics. So, in the last but not the least, I would like to thank every speaker present over here. I would like to thank Navneet Peri for his best words and discussion on properly designing of the workout. It was great to have him with us for such a great knowledge which he shared with us. I would like to thank Mathew for his motivational words that everyone is going to be follow right now, from now, truly. And last but not the least, Parag Doodhya for his great words about he shared about his life, that how he recovered from such things. It is great to have all of you over here. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I will also like to thank Planotech Media House for providing such a great platform to every one of us so that we can put our words in front of everyone. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, speakers. Thank you, organizers.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.